Thanks to all who are joining us today. Welcome to have you. And I'll just want to mention as we get started just that our prayers are with Will Haney and his family. His father passed away a couple of days ago. Just want to keep everybody to keep that in mind in their prayers. The agenda, are there any changes to the agenda, additions? If not, and there are no objections, they'll stand approved as presented. The minutes you received a few days ago, are there any corrections or additions to the minutes? If there are none and there are no objections, they'll stand approved as presented. Allison.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chauncey, would you come up front, please? You all can come up front. So we've got, hello. So we have, Chauncey is making a change with the foundation. Chauncey has served as the chairman of the board of the foundation for 5 years, and his tenure as chairman is rolling off. And Kevin McDearis is the incoming chairman of the foundation. This is Melissa Bossy. She's a board member, and she is the interim executive director of the foundation.
Great job.
And has done an amazing job. We had a wonderful event last night to celebrate Chauncey. It's going to be impossible to live with you as this goes on any longer. But we just want to communicate how incredibly grateful we are for your years of service as board chairman and it's on the foundation. And as we've all said, you're not going anywhere. But thank you so much for your years of service as chairman of the foundation. We have a plaque to present to you, and I will read what it says. Presented to Chauncey Clark. Thank you for your years of inspirational leadership and service as chairman of the USS Yorktown Foundation Board of Directors. Your dedication, passion, and unwavering commitment have left a lasting impact on Patriots Point and those we serve. So, Chauncey, thank you so much for your service.
Let me get a picture of you and Allison together.
You and Allison together.
Picture. Cheer.
Yes.
I'm serious. Smile. 3, 2, 1. Thank you.
Thank you, Chauncey.
Thanks, Chauncey.
This morning I got up this morning and I said, nobody in their right mind will wear a blazer today.
It is.
Everybody did.
It is.
And then again, you got to remember who's in their right mind.
There you go. It's one of those clips I was talking about last night. All right, Finance Committee report. I think Nick providing that.
Good morning, everyone. So I just wanted to briefly recap what we discussed in our Finance Committee meeting this morning. We just did a brief recap of fiscal year 25, which just ended June 30. Currently, we are undergoing our external financial audit with the firm Green, Finney Cawley. I should have drafts of the year-end financial statements for everybody probably mid-September next month. 3 highlights I want to hit from our financials for last fiscal year. Our cash balance increased from the start of the beginning of the fiscal year by $250,000. The Laffey balance on our Laffey loan is now down to $2 million. So just thanks to the board's support for allowing us to make those outsized payments last fiscal year. If you recall, last fiscal year we made about $2.6 million in principal and interest payments, and then we turned around at the start of this fiscal year and made another $1.3 million. So it's just great news that that balance is down to $2 million. I remember when we weren't even paying the interest on that loan, so it's just such a relief. So thank you for your support in that. Our operating expenditures were actually down year over year from 24 to 25. So I mean, those are the big 3 things I look at. We increased our cash balance. Our one outstanding debt obligation we decreased, and our operating expenditures went down. So I mean, that's a great job. The one thing we are monitoring, of course, at all times is the attendance. We realize attendance is down. We're working hard on that. But I really think that's the one the one small blemish, but everything else financially we're in great shape, I feel like. And the other topic we discussed in the finance committee meeting was our state budget request for fiscal year 26-27, and I think I'll pass it on to David for that, correct?
Yes, thank you. Yeah, at this time, we passed this in the Finance Committee, and so I think we need to pass this also with the board. So I hear a motion that for this,
You can make it, the committee.
the committee recommended $25 million passed the state for the $25 million for the building. Do I hear a second?
No, it's not, doesn't require a
Doesn't-
second,
okay.
it is a committee bill. Is there any discussion about that? David, you wanna?
No.
Just to remind you, we requested 25 million last year, so we're just doing it again.
Right.
But hopefully with better results.
Yeah.
If there's no discussion, all in favor of the resolution to make the request for the building, $25 million, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
The ayes have it. It's unanimous. Thank you very much. Thanks,
Thank
Dave.
you, Mr. Chairman.
Is that all for finance?
Unless there's any questions, but
Yeah, any questions for Nick or David? If not, museum and education report. Kenny?
All right, thank you very much. I appreciate the time. I just have a few updates I'd like to go over, most of which I shared at yesterday's committee meeting. I'm going to start the Flight Academy. On August 28th, we're having a professional development for our partnering educators for our 3-point program. This will be a 2-hour training for them to get familiar with the equipment and the curriculum. So we're really excited about hosting those educators. Of our 7 partnering schools, we've installed 2 simulators. One at Liberty Hill, which is very exciting. This is the first year they've ever had a STEM classroom, and our simulator is the first piece of equipment to go into that classroom. So we're very excited to work with them. They're an alternative program for the district. The other school is Hot Gap, also a STEM classroom. The other 5 simulators will be installed in the weeks to come. So we're really, really excited. And I can't stress enough how important it is that we are actually installing equipment into these schools, have a physical presence in the schools. I had a chance to meet with the superintendent at Morningside Middle School to discuss the program. She has given us a ton of support. We met, it's also one of our partnering schools, and we met with the educator there. And so that was just a very positive meeting. I'm very, very grateful for her support. The physical space in the Flight Academy has had a facelift. We have a vinyl wrap in the space that used to be called the JIC. It's lovely blue skies and clouds. Big thanks to operations. As soon as that was done, they were able to fix our HVAC. The electricians got in, gave us power where we needed it, and everything's in place ready for the school year. So big thanks to operations for helping us meet that goal. EIA and general education updates. Staff, specifically Hannah Kratz, is working on the newest EIA application, reporting on last year, talking about this year, and projecting next year. It's a big undertaking, and she always does a great job. Registration for this year's EIA-funded programs open on August 4th, and as of this morning, we have 2,000 fifth grade students signed up. That's 28% of our year-long goal, and roughly 500 Flight Academy non-partnering schools, and that's 30% of our year-long goal. So we're well on our way to reaching our goals, and we haven't even started. So I'm very excited. I think that speaks to the program's reputation. Collections and special programs. We've had a lot of new donations. Yesterday I spoke about a reconnaissance camera that gets mounted to an aircraft. It's a big giant camera, beautiful piece. So lots of cool donations coming in. Through our MOU with the Citadel, we have 2 collaborations that I'm very excited about. On Veterans Day, they're hosting an event where the families of the soldiers known as the Band of Brothers are coming to speak about their fathers, and our ship historian Colby Kazi and some marketing staff will be there to support. And then in addition, at their brand new arts facility, the arts management staff is actually we are loaning our award-winning Steichen exhibit that was originally in the harbor room. And so we're very excited to send that exhibit on the road and work with the Citadel in that way. Our VJ Day celebration coming up in just a couple weeks. Another exciting collaboration is with the USC Film Institute. Their staff has been fantastic to work with, and they have helped us compile lots and lots of occupation and VJ Day related film, which will be playing on loop next to the temporary exhibit down in the hangar bay. So very, very excited about that collaboration. We are also working with the foundation for some member-only programs, specifically one around the Apollo coming in December. And then I want to kind of shout out my entire staff and everybody on the ship working very hard to put together some really exciting programming for the celebration of our 50th anniversary. So very excited, lots of cool conversations and great ideas coming around. So those are the updates I have for you. Does anybody have any questions?
Any questions
When you say the simulator, oh, I'm
Yes.
sorry. I didn't know you had.
No, I was just going to ask him, and this is your answer your question too. Would you explain what the 3-point program is and what the simulators that you're putting in the school are?
Absolutely, and in fact, at next month's board meeting, I'd like to have a presentation with a little more detail on that. But essentially, we have a custom in-house design simulator that we go and install into the classroom, work with the teacher for about an hour on just some preliminary usage of that. Then on the 28th, we'll have all of those educators come to the ship, go through the training on how to use that equipment and curriculum. Then our staff will actually go into the classroom and work with those students 2 separate times before they ever step foot on the ship. So by the time they come on the ship, they have they're front loaded with all the information they need, so they can get into the immersive mode within our physical space. And then afterwards, we send some kind of debriefing curriculum. Through this whole process, our staff is evaluating the students before, during, and after. The teacher does an evaluation after, and the teacher also supplies us with a survey of our program and its effectiveness at the end. So throughout this, we're collecting quite a bit of data as well, and we're tracking down to the individual student.
So this is an intro to those who are coming to the ship, correct?
The coming to the ship is part of it. So the
Right,
ship
right.
is the third point.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Cha-ching.
It's not about money.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions?
But does the simulator have physical controls and
Yep.
I mean yoke and
Yep.
screens and all?
Throttle, flaps, landing gear, rudder pedals,
Okay.
the whole bit. It's not a shell, as you see in our physical space. But like I said, I'll supply some pictures and some more context next month.
Need to get you in the cockpit.
There
No,
we go.
no.
After the meeting, or somebody in there?
Absolutely.
They have fly
I'll let you know.
equipment.
Okay.
Shoot.
Okay. Any other questions? If not, thanks, Kenny.
All right, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Excellent. Chris, Development Committee.
Oh, excuse me. Good morning. For my updates, the marketing department has developed a well thought out strategic plan for our media plan this year that they presented yesterday. And that's what's going to help us reach the 250,000 paid visitors that is our goal this year, which is different than the conservative budget that we presented a few weeks back. But that is our goal for attendance that we're shooting for. And I think that they did a good job with some new innovative ideas for advertising and also adjusting on things that we did last year that may not have worked. We're going to try some new things. So thank you to the marketing department. We also discussed a recent article from the Post and Courier that kind of examined the attendance of all of our sister museums in the Low Country and also some other attractions that, even though numbers for tourism are up in Charleston, attendance of museums and other attractions are down, and examined the reasons why. And some of those are the increase in competition from other new museums that have entered our market, uncertainty in the market, and people wanting to pull back on some of the spending, and also people wanting to spend more on the room nights and food and less on attractions. So those are all things that we have, and I have a nice summary of that article if anybody would like it. I know I gave it to most of the board members yesterday, but I'm happy to share that with everybody else too. Another article that was recently featured was the article about our museum master plan. I think it was last Saturday, was the front page of the Post and Courier. It was a great highlight of all the work that we've done in the last year to develop that museum master plan, and then of course we presented to you last board meeting. So great coverage, and we're doing our best to send that. It's already been sent to the Charleston County Legislative Delegation, and we'll also be sending it to some of our senior lawmakers up there in Columbia, that legislators up there in Columbia, to make sure everybody's aware of what we're doing down here. The Operation Overnight Family Night that we presented a few times went off really well. It was a mission-based success. We had 57 paid attendees for Family Night, coming from what we thought was going to be a regional thing. Really came from all over the Southeast and even the Midwest, some as far as Oklahoma. So it was great to see that, and thanks to the staff that really worked hard to put that together. And you know, we get interest in that because not everybody can participate. You need a group of 10 or more usually to stay overnight on the ship. So it opens up to a new market for people that's always wanted the experience to be on the ship. And so thanks to them. A good idea that was implemented, it was brought to us that, you know, we could help the veteran community by providing a veterans resource page on our website. So our marketing team worked to develop that and worked with some of our veteran partnerships that we have to put them on the page. Anything from health and wellness to starting a business, you can go to our webpage now and find a link to veterans resources here in the Low Country, in the state, and in the region. And it's a living, breathing project. So if anybody has more ideas, we'll add to them at a consistent rate. And also it comes up in Google. So if you're looking for Charleston Veteran Resources, you're able to find that. Go straight to our website. We'll continue to work on that page. The Patriots Annex project is still on track. Approvals in place from the town. Site work, just as a reminder, could begin as early as the fall, maybe even in September. So looking forward to the site work starting very soon on the Patriots Annex project. Great content coming from our marketing team. We've been working to put a content pipeline together, and it's really, really coming together. We've got departments from all over the agency working to contribute on a regular schedule, updates and blogs and things that we can take and disseminate into a lot of different channels, from social media, website, press releases, videos. And so if you follow us on social media, on our website, you probably see a lot of that content coming through. So great team effort with marketing. And you may have remembered us in introducing Alexis, our content curator, who's also a veteran, who's on our marketing team. So we've got 2 veterans on our marketing team that really help out being able to pump some of that content out. A special committee was put together by Allison and me to talk about the 50th anniversary, and Kenny talked a little bit about how the education department is working on that. Next week, that committee is presenting their ideas, and so the following month in September, we should be able to bring a lot of those ideas to the board and development committee about what we're going to do on a year-long approach to celebrating Patriots Point's 50th anniversary, starting January 3rd, 1976, when we opened, all the way through the end of the year. So a lot of new, fresh ideas about how we can talk about our champion, the things we've done over the first 50 years, and then also what's to come the next 50 years with Patriots Annex, what we're trying to do with the ships, and the stories we're telling with the new museum master plan. So a lot of things covered yesterday in the development committee. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions of Chris? Hearing none. Thanks so much.
Thank you,
Chris.
Chris.
Allison, Executive Director's report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm going to follow up a little bit on some of the things we've talked about earlier. Chris referenced it and Nick referenced it in his conversation about really needing to bring new people to the ship, to find new audiences, to build our attendance and get people on the ship. So we have 3 new initiatives that we are getting underway now that we're real excited to share with you all. The first one is we have a new VIP tour. And the VIP tour, we're partnering with Bulldog Tours on a behind-the-scenes tour that will include the forecastle, the bridge, and the pry fly. And so our team has been working for several months on creating the tour route and building the narrative for the tour, enhancing safety and security measures for the tour route, cleaning, painting, and repairs, and creating an engaging and historically accurate script for the tour guides. So this exclusive new tour, it's going to be a 10-person tour, so it's small. You've got to get into some really interesting spaces. We'll be rolling that out for Labor Day, and we would like to invite the board that before the September meeting to take the VIP tour. So we'll talk more about that next month, but we're very excited to roll this out. Continuing our great partnership with Bulldog. Another thing that we're doing very different is we are rolling out a new initiative called Sweat on the Ship, We are partnering with an organization that actually is Sweat on the Ship. They've done a couple of events here last year and had great success with them. So we are announcing a new wellness partnership with them to do bi-monthly workout series. And so the goal of this is to bring a different audience to Patriots Point, to strengthen our community engagement, to raise awareness of our mission, and also to maximize the ship because we'll be using it before and after hours for these events. They're fun themes. They change up, very inclusive activities, and they're all outside of regular museum hours. And our staff and board will receive complimentary admission. So if sweating on the ship today isn't enough for you, you can add a next level experience. But we're really excited about this. Another thing that we're adding that we've been working on for quite a while with the visitor engagement director and the volunteer team is our volunteer program. So one of the things that we saw when we did all of the travel a couple of years ago when I first came on board was just how engaged the volunteers were throughout the ship and throughout the property. So we really wanted to take that model and really expand on what we were doing with our volunteer teams. We find really consistently on our reviews and our guest experience reviews that we get from the College of Charleston that the engagement with the volunteers and hearing about their stories is one of the highlights of people's visit to the ship. So we have a couple of things that we have done for a while. We always have some folks on the Laffey, and we have a couple of volunteers in Vietnam. These are informal, and they're there to answer questions. And now we've expanded next level with our volunteers are now, if we have the info desk manned, if we at least have one person there, volunteers are encouraged to walk around the ship, walk around the hangar bay, go up to the flight deck, go to the area where they're interested in, and just informally engage with our guests. No one has to do it. It's completely optional. It's very informal. But it really is. It's fun. You see them around the ship a lot more than in the past. But we've taken a next level ad that we're doing, and it's called the Volunteer Watch. And so now we've just rolled out on August 7th our test period, our 6-week test period for the Volunteer Watch. And it is on the hangar bay. And it is a very specific group of volunteers. And they are on the hangar bay. They have a shift that is over and above their regular info desk shift, and they are it's 11 to 2 Thursday through Sunday. They have training that they have to go through. They have a specific way that they have to schedule with our volunteer programs coordinator to be a part of the volunteer watch. One of our volunteer team, our volunteer engagement initiative team, helped put all of this together. Bill Cosgrove, one of our volunteers, really led this effort. Rich Mady has been a huge advocate for volunteer engagement. So this is one of many levels of this pilot program. We think it's going to be a great success. You will see that they'll have a different lanyard. It's bright yellow. It says Volunteer Guide. That's what they're called. And so we look to expand this after this 6-week period. We want to add the flight deck, and we want to add the engine room, and we want to add landside and have a better presence there. We currently have a couple of volunteers who now are landside. Thank you for great suggestions, and are greeting guests down there. Just because that entry experience begins really the minute you enter the property, but certainly once you get out of your car, we want that to be part of your experience. So this is something that we will continue to expand on, but that is underway so far. Gina read comments from one of the volunteer guides who's been on the ship, who did their shift 2 days ago and talked about how they engaged with a teenage couple who wanted to learn more about the radial engine that we have, and all the different groups that they spoke to. And I know as I've walked back and forth on the hangar bay this last week and seen them, it is amazing. I see them with somebody different every time. I've yet to see one of those guides standing there by themselves. There's always someone there with them. So we're really excited about this. We think this is really enhancing our visitor experience and something really special that we can offer our guests. So there will be more to come on that, but that's all rolling out right now. And that's all I have.
Any questions, Allison?
That sounds great.
I just want to thank you and the staff for everything you're doing. I also want to thank the foundation for enabling a lot of our staff, Kevin, Melissa, Chauncey. that make a lot of it possible with some funding. But you know that what you're hearing today in the meeting are just highlights of what goes on here every month, and it just every time I get into the board report that's sent out every month, and I hope each of you take some time with that, because it just amazes me what is going on this ship, every week. And I think y'all are doing a great job, and we're always adding something. And it's just excellent.
It is good. Yeah.
Thank you so
Mr.
much.
Chairman. That's very kind. Thank you. Great team.
If are there any public comments? If not, I overlooked at the beginning with the agenda that I wanted to add a very quick executive session relating to parcels A, B, C, D, and for legal advice and contractual discussion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Well, it's unanimous. So. It shouldn't take very long at all, but okay. Thank you everybody for coming. We'll take about a 5-minute break.
I don't see any of that. Chris, are we up? Yes, sir. We're good.
Okay, so we're back in open session. No votes were taken in executive session. Is there any other business to come before the board? If not, our next meeting is currently scheduled for September 19th. And remember, we're looking at doing a VIP tour
Before.
prior to the meeting.
Yes, sir.
So keep that in mind. If you're not, we'll be reminding you about that. So and we stand adjourned.
I'll be out of time next